everyone, it's me, the Otaku Fangirl, here to review Danganronpa 3, Despair Arc, Episode 7. Wow, what an episode. That Nagito fan service. Thank you, Danganronpa 3. Because we haven't seen the guy since, I believe it was episode 4, and it's been a while, and I'm like, I miss Nagito, when's he gonna show up again? Well, there we go. And apparently he was in a plane crash, and he's in the middle of nowhere, and, like, the desert, but there was an oasis, I guess, and he was basically taking a shower, and he was naked, and, it's a beautiful scene. Beautiful, beautiful scene. Would watch again and again and again, and never stop watching. But to get into the real part of this episode, so we get some comedy in the beginning with the Danganronpa 2 characters, you know, just get a little bit of comedy, you know, all this stuff, but, meanwhile, Ryota Mitarai is, I guess you could say, taken in by Junko because she insults his anime, and, I was like, oh, Junko's a savage, oh no. Junko's kind of always been a savage, though, but anyway, yeah, I was like, don't, like, in the back of my mind, I was like, Junko, don't insult anime, but then Junko gets on the hype train for Ryota's anime, and I'm like, what? It was funny, because she was like, all the anime I watched in the past is terrible, or something like that. I don't remember exactly what she said, but I just thought it was funny. And even Mukuro was crying, like, she was just, oh my gosh, it was hilarious. It's a funny scene, but I thought Junko might have used the whole insulting anime thing, or insulting his anime, to maybe have him fall into despair, but that seems not to be the case so far. So yeah, that was something interesting, that Junko liked it. I was like, what? I really wish we'd get to see it, because I think that'd be interesting. Like, do an OVA or something about his anime. I think that'd be really cool. But anyway, so, yeah. The first killing, first mutual killing happens in this episode, and, thanks, Junko. But the way that all went down, but before all that went down, let me just mention something. Yeah, Mikan has now encountered Junko, and she's working with the real Ryota Mitarai now. She was kind of working with the Ultimate Imposter guy, but, yeah, I think she's been taken in by despair now. Exactly how, I don't know. Also, we got to see Junko analyzing, I guess, Mikan in a way, and I was like, her eyes were doing this weird thing, and I'm like, that's creepy, can you not? But anyway, so yeah, that was something interesting, and I guess Mikan's on the side of despair now? Maybe? We don't really know at this point, but I'd assume she is, since the Ultimate Imposter got a letter from her that said, oh, I'm working with Ryota, don't worry about me, or something like that, and I'm like, oh, well, guess she's in despair now, she's the first to go. Bye-bye, Mikan, you're the first to fall, I guess. I don't know exactly if she fell right now, but yeah, so, but let's get into, when people started, killing each other. Yeah, the student council members. Chiaki was not in there. Thank you. Thank you, Chiaki's still alive. Thank you so much. But anyway, yeah, I'm glad she's still alive. I swear, though, when I read the title of this episode, I was like, oh, I gotta prepare myself. Chiaki's gonna die. But no, thank goodness she didn't. Because I thought she would have died with the whole, like, mutual killing game, the first one, or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that was a thing. But it was funny how it started. Because Junko went to Izuru. And she's like, let's go on a date. And I'm like, what? And then the killing thing, and I was like, oh, okay, that's a tragic date. That's a really tragic date. I wouldn't want to go on that date. Guys, never date Junko. She's just gonna want you to kill people, or see people get killed. So yeah, so it was funny, though, when she was swinging her bat at, Izuru, and he was just dodging, and I was just like, psh. That's funny. But yeah, there was a lot of interesting looking characters for the student council, and I was like, oh man, we're never gonna get to learn about these characters more than the screen time they're getting right now, because oh look, they're all dead. So that sucks. Yeah, I literally know none of their names, or barely anything about them. I know there's a girl with this bunny hat, and she has like 2 different colored eyes. There's some muscular dude. Some girl with glasses with a chainsaw. I remember her having a chainsaw. I was like, whoa. There was 2 lovers that were gonna shoot each other, but then the thing happened, and I was like, oh, dang, thanks for you guys. But yeah, we don't really know much about those characters, because they're all dead now. But, there was one guy who was left, and Izuru went up to him, and then the guy tried to kill him, but of course Izuru dodged. And now this is something I noticed as well, as when Izuru first saw the room where all the student council members were, it kind of panned and everything, and I noticed that was a parallel to Danganronpa 2, basically the very beginning, when Hajime walks in the room and sees all the Danganronpa 2 characters, so I thought that was interesting. A lot of parallels in this episode, like for the fact, when the guy, the last one alive, was, you know, like falling on top of the chainsaw, and I guess he used the last of his energy to like try to shoot Izuru, and of course Izuru did dodge, but it did scrape his cheek, and I noticed that's a parallel, or at least I think it's a parallel to the part in Danganronpa 2 where Hajime gets his cheek scratched by something. I think it's like a bullet or something like that. I don't remember when Usami or Monami dies, quote unquote, when Monokuma kills her, quote unquote. So yeah, I thought that was an interesting parallel. At least I'd assume it'd be one. But yeah, and I liked the music they used at some points. They also used the style of like closing arguments that Hajime and Makoto would do when they, you know, wrap up a case. Junko, that sort of style was used when she was explaining the email she sent to all the reserve corps students about, you know, how they're using inhumane experiments and blah, blah, blah. So that was something interesting. And the visual effects they used at some points in the episode, I really enjoyed. Like, there was a point where Junko, like, the side of her face was, like, red, and one was kind of more white. And, you know, the white and the black, or the white and the black and the red of Monokuma. And there was just a lot of visual effects I thought were really appealing in this episode. But I did not like the censorship. I was like, you guys have pink blood. What more do you have? Oh, black lines, thanks. If Danganronpa is going to pull out gore on us, or not really gore, but, you know, killing stuff, you know, I'd kind of like to be able to see it. I mean, you could kind of see it, but at the same time, you couldn't. So I guess they'll, like, you know, get rid of that in the DVD release. Great. Guess I'm going to go buy the DVDs when Funimation, you know, releases those, whenever those become a thing. But, because I'm not going to buy the Japan ones, why would I do that? Whatever, but anyway, but yeah, that was, whew, what an episode. But yeah, at the end of the episode, the Reserve Corps students are not happy that their tuition funds are being used for things they shouldn't be used for, and of course the Danganronpa 2 characters see the kind of riot going on outside, and I like how Chiaki, like, was like, Hinata-kun, and I'm like, oh, you're thinking about Hajime? I like how she's on a first name basis with him, because his first name's Hinata, so yeah, I thought that was kind of cute, and oh gosh, if Chiaki ever sees Izuru, I'm just gonna be like, oh, here we go. Oh boy. But I tell you what, though, I think, because Junko should know that Chiaki is on the student council, so maybe she's gonna make Izuru kill her, because I don't know. That's gonna be interesting. I have that feeling. Also, I think that Ryota Mitarai is the mastermind of the future arc because of this episode specifically. We don't know if he falls into despair, but I feel like he might if he's in this close contact with Junko, and maybe he's really good at hiding it. I don't know. So yeah, I think he's the mastermind, but I could be quite wrong. He could be somebody entirely different. But at this point in time, I think it's Ryota. What are you guys' theories on that? You know, who do you think is the mastermind? Because honestly, I'm leaning toward Ryota now that Monika's out of the picture in the future arc. So yeah, I think it's going to be Ryota. It might be too obvious, though, so I don't know. Maybe they'll pull something else and we'll be like, oh, what a surprise! But for the future arc, that is. But as of this episode of the Despair arc, I am like, I want to say 80% sure that Ryota is probably going to be the mastermind behind the future arc. So yeah, but I don't know, you know, I could be completely wrong, but who knows? Oh man, I just keep, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about that Nagito fan service scene. What a beautiful scene. I can't mention that enough, and I'm gonna take lots of pictures of that and stare at it a long time. But that's besides the point. So, yeah, I think that's all that happened in this episode, besides Mukuro singing, which was really, really weird. Yeah. But that was really weird. Not really important, but it was weird, that's for sure. Nagito did sing a little bit, now that I think about it, and that was nice. But, oh! That means in the dub, Bryce Papenbrook's gonna have to sing at that part. That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be really interesting. But anyway, what do you guys think of this episode? What are your thoughts, theories, all that? And I'll see you guys in my reviews for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamonds Unbreakable, and Berserk. So I'll see you in those reviews tomorrow. Bye!